Okay, I'm going to give you the briefest of brief kind of, steps to use this camera. It's pretty simple, but, doesn't hurt to give you a little brush up. All right, right down here, which is connected, we have the power cable and cord. So anytime you want to basically charge it, I would definitely recommend you charge it overnight. Just basically insert it and take it out. I'm going to give you an illustration. Taking it out like this. See how this is? Okay. And then just placing it right back in there. There's a little slot right there, the top slot. You just place it in, and it just clicks right in. See that? Okay. So once you've done that, you'll see this little button right there that lets you know that it's charging. I will actually leave it overnight, and then you're all set. Now, basically, the basic way to describe how you use this is make sure that the lens is open. It'll tell you if it's not. Right here on the side here, you see a little lens open and close. Turn that on. Push it down. The lens opens. All right, we're going to come back, and I'm going to show you some of the inner workings of this as well. All right, stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. All right, now we're going to actually go into how you get this thing to start up. It's pretty simple. Once you've got the know-how, basically you open it from the side. There's a little side door here. I'll just show you right here. Little side door here. Pull that with your fingers. Opens up and you makes that little sound. Now if the door is closed, it'll tell you to open the door, which I showed you just a second ago. Now basically, let's take this cord out of the side. Here. Hold on. Alright, the cord is now out. Now it's ready to be used. Now basically, all you got to do, there's a few things. Number one, turn it upside down. You'll see a little slot here. Open it up. The SD card goes into this slot. All you gotta do is use the SD slot right there, and you can use your card for as long as your memory will hold it. It's a typical SD card right here. Okay. I'll show you how to insert it really quickly. Basically goes right in that little slot. And if it won't fit, that means you got to turn it around and put it in. Push it down till you hear a little click in. Then close it. And then you know you're all set. One more way to check to make sure it's all set is going to be covered next. Okay, I'm back. This is how you basically check to make sure you're using the SD card and not necessarily the internal memory, or switch back and forth. Hit the menu button right here with this little button right here on the side. Acts as almost like a toggle switch or like a mouse. So you push it down and it highlights it, or you basically move it. You can move it down. It can move up. It can move down. Just by just kind of pivot it. You pivot it down. You pivot it up, and it does everything. So if it's on the thing you want, then you just push it in like you're clicking on a mouse. Now you're in your menu. You have all these different things you can toggle left, toggle right. For this, we're just going to basically use setup. That's all we really need to do. One of two things we need to do. Click setup. Right there. You see where it says media select, internal memory, or you have the choice of, when you click on it, you can use internal memory or the memory card. In this case, use your memory card. If you run out of your memory card, then go back into that same setting, that same setup, and then use internal memory. When you're done, hit toggle back up to the media select. The X, that basically is for close. Click it, it takes you right out of it. Keep toggling till you get to that other X, the top, it says setup. Toggle that back one more time, and now you're back on the main menu. Pretty simple, all right? Any questions, let me know. Back with how to start it up. So, we're back. Okay, you don't need to necessarily see my face as much as you need to see the objects that I'm about to show you about with the camcorder, about the base. So basically, on this little surface right here, this is where this thing comes out. So on the side here, you basically click it, and it'll open it up. So basically, this like this. Let's try it again. I say it's easy, and now I have a difficult time to do it. So put it in this side. Put it in this side first. Then you pull this, and then it locks in place. Same thing to take it out. Push this up, pull this out. It's important because you're going to be using this to basically attach it to the camera right here. Okay? I'll show you how to do it real quickly. Stay tuned. Back again. All right, so now you got this little piece right here. It's got a screw and a little kind of a push-in pin. It corresponds with this screw and this notch right here. So let's match them up. Match them up. Okay? Screw this in. Screw the screw in first. Okay? Or you can use this. You can actually just keep it in place and then screw it with this little thing right here. That gets it tighter. Once you've got it tight enough, now you got the base for it. Okay? Now all you got to do, now once you've got this, same thing as before. Put it in one way, and then click it in. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So you put it in the side, and then clicks in right there like that. See? So now you're thinking to yourself, well, it's sideways. Yes, it is. We'll remedy that for you in just a second. Back again. Remember how we put this thing in sideways? And I kind of basically formed that little shape? What you don't want to do is actually what I just showed you. You can, and you can still maneuver it, but probably for your particular purposes, you want to basically have it forwards. You can actually turn it. You can turn the camera from sideways where it would go in like this, to you can actually turn it like this, because it's a square. So slide it in like that. Same thing, forwards, front, forward. And then just pull this back, and now it's locked in. And now, as you can see, I can guide it wherever I want to guide it to. Okay? Don't have to worry about any stuff like that. Okay. So now what you want to do is make sure that this thing is steady, not necessarily pivoting like this. So this little thing right here allows you to do that. So what you do is you clockwise tighten it, counterclockwise loosen it. So I want to tighten it to keep it in place. So I'm tightening it. Now, see, it won't move. It won't go up. It will only go up very little, but it's going to stay right there securely on it. Next, I want to make sure that this thing is tightened. So now it's pretty solid. Okay? And there's also this little notch here. Make sure that's twisted and tightened right there like that. So now everything's kind of tight. So short of anything coming around, it's not going anywhere. It's tight here and secure here. It's secure here from like going up like this, and it's tight like this. So if I loosened it, this is what's going to happen. So I want to make sure it doesn't happen to actually go out of frame. This thing right here, if I loosen this will make it go from left to right. Only if I want to keep it pretty loose. If I know I'm going to be pivoting a lot, then I'll do that. But otherwise, keep it tight. You can keep it slightly, but you know, you can keep it slightly loose, but not too tight. That way you have a little bit of flexibility. You can move it just a little bit if needed. Otherwise, keep it tight. Okay? Once again, keep this little notch of the thing tight too. This is for like if you wanted to tilt it or something like that. All right, we'll be back. How to make these legs longer. Okay, this is how to make the legs longer. Step number one, you want to make sure that the base of this thing is very secure. Okay? So, clockwise, tight, counterclockwise, loose. If it's counterclockwise, I can make it skinny, you know, make it really like a wider base. Once I got it to where I want it as far as the base, right there. Now it's not going to go up all accidentally. Next, I have these little feet. I have two sets of feet. And basically what I do is if I want to make it longer, I take the bottom one out and do it for all three. For all three of the tripod on the same, see how this is the second one I'm doing? So do it on the second one for each one of them. If you want to do an additional adjustment for it to make it even higher, then do this other one. Do the second one on top of it, and you can make it even longer. But once again, make sure that all of them are being adjusted. Otherwise, you're going to have a lopsided camera shot. That's not going to be good unless you're really trying to be really artistic, and I don't think you are. All right? All three. Once again, once you've got them where you want to get them, you push this thing down. That locks it in place. Stand it up. Now you see it's not going anywhere unless you move it. The feet are securely on the floor. Once again, your camera is pointed, or it should be pointed, where you want it to be pointed, directly at the person, place, or thing. And then make sure that it's charged. I don't know if it's 2 or 3. Make sure it's charged. Make sure your SD card's in it. Make sure you hit record. Okay? And make sure you look for the REC to let you know it's recording. Once you've done all that, you're pretty much all set. I think you'll be fine. And we are back. Okay. So what do you want to do now? You want to basically do stuff in reverse. Number one, take the camera off the tripod. Just like I showed you how you put it on, take it off. After you're done, after you've stopped the recording, stop the recording. Close the door of the camera, okay? Close that door, okay? Now once you close it, it turns it off. Make sure you stopped it. If you close it after not stopping the recording, I don't know what's going to happen, so you might lose your stuff. So make sure you hit the stop button. After you've recorded, hit stop, okay? Remember where that's at? Right there. Hit the stop. Okay, then close the door. If you want to put the door on it, so now it's closed. Protect the lens. Good job. Next, we're going to take this. Remember, counterclockwise seals it up. We're going to undo what we did with the legs one at a time as far as making it shorter. So make the legs shorter. And then we'll be all set. You can actually also take this little thing up here, this thing up top. I'm going to like this, like I said, there's an angle. So you basically, if you want to basically make this a little bit lower, you want to basically lower this. Once again, counterclockwise for everything to loosen, clockwise to tighten. Now you brought this down, and now you can actually lower the legs. Lower each leg, okay? That way they're all nice and neat and inside. And once you've done that, you can put it back in the bag. You're all set. If any of these instructions is a little bit off to you, you can always, try to text. But I would practice a couple of times. That way everything's all set for you. All right? Any questions, give me a holler. Text me, 617-407-1538. Good luck. Good producing.